I was preparing to film the 3rd episode of the job market iceberg series, but I decided to make this short video acknowledging something that I've noticed and that other creators have noticed and that I believe needs to be approached in a serious manner. As you know, I am at this point the face of anti-AI of very, 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 very small creators. I would say micro creators, really. So am I really the face of anything? Well, anyway, yeah, YouTube is processing our videos with machine learning without our consent. So how is this happening? Let's get into it. When you're scrolling through shorts, if you scroll through shorts, have you noticed that people's faces started looking a little bit weird? Like the skin is too plasticky and the edges of the image are too crisp, and that the whole thing sort of looks AI cleaned or has a filter on it or something? Well, you're not wrong. This has been happening and it is a problem. A few days ago, YouTube actually acknowledged that it has been using machine learning to enhance our videos after we upload them without telling us first or obtaining our consent. This is problematic. The reason that YouTube has been using to justify this is to unblur, denoise, and improve clarity of the videos. But yeah, I call it bullshit. And even if it's not bullshit and I'm wrong, I don't agree with it. So this started when certain musicians and creators posted side-by-side comparisons of their short format content on YouTube versus TikTok and Instagram. And their TikTok and Instagram versions looked normal, whereas YouTube Shorts suddenly and without any warning had some minor alterations that made the video look a bit deep fake-ish. Kind of. It's like the textures look like they melted, basically. I had noticed that the quality of my shorts visually looked a little bit different than the full format video, but for some reason I gaslit myself into thinking that I was just seeing things, and then I realized that I wasn't when it started being consistent. And most of my YouTube shorts are clips from my long format videos. So I did a side-by-side comparison of the long format video and the short version of that. And I thought it was a little bit weird. And I thought to myself, maybe I accidentally added a filter before actually posting that short. And then when I started seeing that other creators were talking about this, I realized, okay, wait a minute, this is AI processing. And it does make sense because even the background of the environment of the video looks modified and it's very subtle, but it is concerning. What YouTube is saying is that they're not using generative AI or upscaling on our videos. They're just running an experiment on YouTube Shorts using traditional machine learning. But even if they are running an experiment on YouTube Shorts, and we've talked about this on the Reddit video, experiments need to have consent or at least warning of what is happening. Things can't just be happening in the background without people being aware of what is happening. But YouTube wants creators to believe that they are doing this kind of post-processing thing to help us to reduce the noise and the blur of our videos. And not only this, but these changes in blur and sharpness of a video can change the artistic intent of a video. And although my YouTube content isn't so much art related, although I do art content just off of YouTube, I understand the implications that it has, especially for creators that make art content on YouTube and suddenly they see their creations changed and tweaked without their consent. But it's not just a problem for people that are in the artistic field on YouTube, and we're going to talk about this. Personally, my footage on these videos is a little bit soft and not super sharp, high quality because I don't have an amazing, super sharp camera. And also because I'm using that to my own benefit, the fact that I don't have that equipment to actually embrace the fact that it looks a little bit vintagey, I guess. I personally don't like the idea of my shorts not looking like my long format video, because the idea of even posting the short clips of the long format content, in my case, is to bring a new audience in and entice them to watch, the full video. And if they look at the short, they see how plastic it looks, maybe they're not going to be keen on watching the full video if they think that's what it looks like, because it does look plastic. And additionally to this, audiences are already, thankfully, side-eyeing AI content. And so if my shorts look like they were processed using AI, they might assume that I'm using AI, which I always talk about how generative AI and AI is problematic. So I can basically come off as a hypocrite if that is the conclusion that people come to because they look at my shorts and they see, oh, it has AI processing, because it does, but I did not consent to it and I did not opt into it. In fact, in the YouTube studio, we have the option to opt out of our content being used to train AI. Not that I believe that our content is not being used to train AI, although we opt out of it, but let's give the benefit of the doubt. We have that option. I have that option off. So the fact that my short videos are still being used for their experiments is a bit offensive. And it's not just mine, it's pretty much any YouTube creator. The other problem with this is that if a giant platform like YouTube decides to make these minor tweaks in our videos, in our content without telling us anything, what else can they do? What else are they doing? Because we already have the option of auto dubbing, and if we don't speak that language that is auto dubbing, how can we be sure that whatever is being automatically translated is actually what we are saying? What if they are also experimenting on what is being said on a video just for innocent testing? I've always been taught, especially as a scientific researcher, that we have to question everything and leave every option open and laid out on the table. And so this is a concern. And as you can see, there are clear differences. You might be having some difficulty spotting it right away, but if you look really closely, you're going to see, especially in the movement, there's something very unnatural that is happening in the actual video. And it's the movement. For example, in the case of this video, I have a blue eyeliner on, and in the original, you can see that the eyeliner is clearly blue. In the post-processing, it looks more black than blue. But not only that, my skin looks like it's made out of glass, of greasy glass, actually. And it just, personally, I don't think it looks good. I think the edges look weird. The background looks too sharp. There's a lot going on. And by the way, I've tried to do the same test on videos of my main channel, and the same thing I have noticed. And is even more obvious for some reason, maybe because of the colors I'm wearing. But the sharpness and the contrast and the kind of greasy plastic look is even more evident. Now, I think it's awful. I think it looks terrible, and I think that YouTube needs to get a grip on what they are doing. They need to stop thinking that YouTube creators are dumb and realize that more than ever, we are aware of what is happening. We are very conscious of how we do not want, or most of us do not want, our content to be used with AI. And it is concerning that if on one hand, YouTube puts out a policy where they are going to demonetize faceless AI channels, and then on the other hand, they are using AI to enhance shorts and make real people look like AI. It looks dystopian, and my only question is, what in the 1984 is this? Really? I don't agree with it. I hope that I made it clear that I am not using AI to post my shorts. I'm not using AI to enhance my shorts. In fact, I don't consider this an enhancement. I consider it a downgrade. I hope that I made that clear, and thank you for watching. And episode 4 of the job market iceberg will be posted later this week, and I hope that you will stick around to watch that. I will be wearing the same outfit. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.